Hello, viewers. I'm SB,
I'm Amabel.
and welcome
I'm
back.
here too.
You are here too, and welcome back to Amabel Goes to Forex School, where we're just enjoying our second game of Endless Legend. Here, we are building a holy Oculus just as fast as we can. Also, thank you to the people who pointed out that the buyout mechanic, you can absolutely buy stuff out from the very beginning, but because I had the luxury resource menu open, it was like perfectly covering up the buyout value. That is probably not how that should work.
Yeah. But this is why I read the comments,
This is why you read the comments.
so I can tell you these. Oh, there's some Reddit things you probably want to look at. I'll tell you about it after.
Okay, we'll talk about the internet later. Right now, we're talking about Endless Legend. So, we are working toward this holy oculum. At which point, our faction is going to kind of reveal its whole special situation. And until then, we're just playing nice with the neighbors and trying not to get murdered. Oh, is it monsoon time? The first storms are upon us, Amabel.
The skies grow dark. The rains come and rifts tear
Oh.
open the land.
Look at the lightning.
Stand strong, Daleks. One day they will lead us to salvation.
Look at that creature. Look at that lightning. Amabel, did you see the lightning?
I did. It was pretty good.
I don't remember seeing that before. Oh yeah. There's like it's like dust lightning in addition to more traditional lightning. The lightning of our ancestors and the lightning of our forebears, not the same thing. Okay, a monsoon has come. 100% gains on battle spoils, plus 20 health regen on units starting their turn in non-allied territory. It is a time for aggression. It is a time for fucking up minor faction units. It is a time for picking up lots and lots of curiosities. Hey, you. Prepare to get murdered. Ooh. Okay, it's a consumable, but it's still a rare. Also, dust. You get lots of dust from winning combats. Speaking of, we have a ton of dust. I should probably have bought out the Oculum last turn, but buying it out now. Well, Dean Uranpar, what is your status report on the Holy Oculum? Illustrious curator Meng, the building is stronger than the purest glass steel. Much learning has been gained, and Suraban shines. Among us all, none other than Meng dared question the Assembly's failures. Kasana's sheep would never have seen the signs. Such blind fools can never again be allowed to lead. Kasana's sheep, as you call them, are just waiting for me to slip up and give power back to the Ecclesiarch. Not everyone is so eager to stray from tradition and seek new ideas. I'll let them wait. Meng's new ideas have brought us closer to the sages than 3 ages of the Assembly's traditions. Failure is impossible. Please don't shout, failure is impossible in my throne room.
Right.
What is wrong with you? Glory to the sages. Glory to their return. Glory to Meng. 40 science and the ability to do whatever that is. Slowly but surely, the venerable institutions of Tahuk life have re-emerged in Suraban. The Assembly prays, researches, and rules. The chancellors deal with swords and sewers. Yet Curator Meng is determined to disturb this perennial order by pursuing his interest in the Holy Oculum. It is an instrument with awesome potential, or so esoteric Tahuk texts suggest. Though the Assembly's own sacred laws codify the exercise of the Holy Oculum, its more cautious members are reluctant to endorse Meng's plans. Meng, you conniving slime. Mark my words, if I can't get to the Oculum for experiments, you'll be sorry. I'm only the single greatest munitioneer in Tahuk history. Picture what I can do with its power. Oh, believe me, Dean Jallo, I'm not the one stopping work on the Oculum from going forward. Because I can pop your eyeballs open in 50 different ways. Oh. Well, whose fault is it then? I bet you it's that old gasbag Kasana, lining up all our Assembly's most clever cowards behind him. Well, some are frightened of change. even when our own scriptures command it. But I'm confident that the fearful can be convinced. We'll never talk Kasana around. I say find support elsewhere. If the chancellors were with you, those weaklings in the assembly would have no choice but to agree to the Oculum projects. The chancellors don't usually get involved in theology. Still, that's worth a try. Curator Meng, good to see you make time for us chancellors. And it's my privilege to assist you, Chancellor Parasai. Look, Curator, I know you seek my backing for your Holy Oculum program, but I'm much more worried about how unprepared our forces are to fight. That puts all Tahoks at risk. Let the soldiers see some real action, and you'll have my help. Have at least 2 districts with communal habitations. I'm not sure why that's the soldiers seeing real action, but it will unlock a couple of Empire actions and also even more science. Okay, communal habitations. So this was not what I was initially planning on doing right now. But it's certainly something we can do. So I was going to build a science, a laboratory right here.
Mm-hmm.
We can shift our plan just a little bit. That's an anomaly too. So I'm trying to think. We get bonus science output on the Holy Oculum for building labs next to it. And we want labs next to the anomalies. In addition, the labs get bonus science for each adjacent communal habitation. And we need communal habitations to just provide extra population slots on our population vocations so that as our population keeps growing, we don't run out of things for people to do, and have people who are miserable because they can't contribute. So my plan was to build a laboratory here and then a laboratory here because we get next to that anomaly. Obviously, I would love to continue building laboratories all the way around the anomalies, but throwing in a communal habitation here and there will help us, keep the city growing while also still providing extra science. So I kind of think what I like these 2 as laboratories I think is still solid, and then maybe like a communal habitation here. I know that space is adjacent to an anomaly, but it's still feeding a lot of important stuff, and that'll level up the laboratory. And then a communal habitation here will also level up this laboratory.
Okay.
So, that being the case, it actually makes more sense to build this lab first, because from here we'll be able to extend into both of the spaces. And buying new foundations is probably going to have to be the thing we're doing with influence for a little while. As much as we would love to, attach regions to whatever.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Man, I really do want to be doing that too. I mean, we're going to be collecting monsoon curiosities. Hopefully some of them will have influence in them. It would certainly help a lot. The other thing we can certainly do is we can build yeah, does the Oculum level up? It doesn't say that it does. Obviously, we could build a couple of influence things, or alternatively, we could even reallocate a couple of people to be scribes for a while just to make sure the work gets done. This is kind of the point where I was hoping to bounce people over to food focus, though. Like, the city's got a basic like functional infrastructure. I really want to pump population. I think that's going to be the plan. There's no point in rushing out the lab because we won't be able to get the communal habitations going yet anyway. Okay. And then, of course, we can research common rights real quick. Give us +4 influence income on the capital without having to build anything. That's 11 turns of science output. Well, we're pulling science from our quests, and we're pulling science from anomalies and stuff. But after this, we probably need to lean in on stuff like stargazing and just general science outputs.
Okay.
Oh, right, and the council. The council's opened up because it's time for the thing. So, who do we have available here? +5 industry on City Hall, +15 food in the capital. City Hall is a building that every settlement gets. So this is like for in each settlement, +5 industry. +5 approval per population on destitutes, which it doesn't really do anything yet. And this would be 10 dust per turn right now. I think I like the two amateurs.
Production.
Yeah. I think that makes the most sense. The dust one's not horrible. I guess, one thing we could do with all this dust, we could buy a unit out down here, like buy a cheap scouting initiate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at only 200 dust, and then use it to clean up the anomalies that are all around here. And honestly, it might pay itself off pretty quickly. But more than that, it might find something really valuable that we would otherwise have missed. Okay, well, it's taking care of half of its cost already. Let's run down here and grab this one. Remember, we do have another player who will also be trying to grab them, so it behooves us to pay attention to the ones that are in potentially contentious territory. Managed to gain some levels. Talak Embrew gives shield to friendly targeted units. I mean, that's not horrible. When gaining experience gives more experience to non-hero units in the army. I mean, that's like okay. I think I'm going to take the shielding skill, actually. Just toughen our units up a little bit. And you have taken this terrain logistics thing, which is, we're already getting some great benefit out of. Especially since these things are, whenever attacking somebody with a negative status, maximize crit chance. Yeah, these storm anomalies already often give movement. So if you were wondering why we were able to cover so much distance, that is why.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that completely refilled our 5 points of movement. Pretty solid. Okay. Oh, that's right. We should probably get that keep, huh? Oh, I should probably also get a blast furnace. What's it cost to buy out a blast furnace? A lot, it turns out. Well, we'll get that going next, and we'll buy it out as soon as it's reasonable to buy it out. That'll be a good focus for all this stuff. Okay, we have not trespassed on their territories for a while, and they're thanking us for having cut it out after they had warned us. So if you'll remember, they did ask us very politely not to do that.
Yeah, like I said, they're chill. We know those guys.
Chill seems like a strong word for what they are, but they're not trying to eat us right now, at least. Okay. Now let's make a keep. I guess I can buy one of the foundation locations that we're after. We also should get that in the cube. But so here we're going to want a communal habitation. And then as far as the keep goes, the keep just wants to be adjacent to other districts. It doesn't really care what they are. I think this is probably the place where we put the keep up.
Okay.
These can be the plans for the moment. Oh, right. And our holy oculum did start to unlock. So, open. The political balance between scientists and church is stable. Ether and matter holy oculum actions are tolerated, while knowledge actions are defamed. Not all of the possible holy oculum actions are approved by the clergy. Depending on which political stance the player is in, some will be considered holy and others unholy. The political stance can be changed through the faction quest. So the effects here are Star's Light, +5 influence per holy oculum level on Star's Light effects, +2 vision range on observatories outside of the monsoon season. Each called population forcibly displaced by the service of spirit action will produce more industry in your city. I'm starting to lose it a little bit.
Yeah.
+2 industry on galvanized called, +1 influence per holy oculum level on galvanized called. Okay. We have a little bit of a string builder error here. +100% resources production on population vocations. +15 dust on tiles with glass per city with eternal sunshine status. +50 fortification per holy oculum level on city with eternal sunshine status. And esoteric delegation, +5 dust science influence production per holy oculum level on missionaries. I don't know what any of that means. I don't think I understand any of that.
Okay.
Okay, Star's Light, tolerated. Grants your targeted observatory with a strong influence bonus, but creates a called population in the nearest city. Wait. Okay. This is a little bit not quite the right English. They're saying it gives the observatory a strong influence bonus. To say
Right.
grants X with Y is not how you say it gives X to Y.
Okay.
I was looking for another half of a clause there, right?
Okay. I got it though. Yeah.
Okay, so it gives a strong influence bonus to an observatory, but creates a called population in the nearest city. Charging time. During the charging time, 50% of your science output will be diverted to this action. And it creates a called population, which gives approval but loses science and doesn't have the... What is the base yield of our population type? Yeah, I didn't tell you to do that. Get over here. Okay, a base Tahook is +1 science. That makes sense. So, if you turn them into a called, then they become -1 science, but +5 approval. Because they're like religiously... Okay.
And they reduce
And
the
it places the Star's Light effect on the observatory, +2 influence per holy oculum level. Okay. So that makes sense. So right now it would be +5 influence, but it'll go up to +10 if we finish building around the oculum. Okay. When the effects are what this was listing here is like, this is all of the different effects that can be provided by your abilities right now, not in a way that makes it clear that they're linked to particular abilities. This is a strange way to display this. Okay, and Service of Spirit is another ability that we don't have yet because we aren't far enough in the faction quest. And Eternal Sunshine is another such ability. Okay. That does clarify things somewhat. Geodissection. Tolerated. Select a territory overseen by an observatory to perform this action. It will transform every tile into glass tiles. But there's a chance the action goes overboard and opens a rift as well. 80% chance to create a rift. So it seems it's not like This is the normative behavior of this ability is that it creates a rift, and occasionally it won't.
Yeah.
Transforms targeted tiles to glass. The whole. It says every tiles. I'm assuming, like the whole region. Use glass the whole
Yeah.
region. Vitrified rocks shimmer and gleam. This is horrifying.
Yeah. Right.
It lets us just glass an entire region? I mean, we're going to have to do it at some point just to see, right?
I get.
Don't you think?
Oh.
And here we have the esoteric delegation, which is the currently defamed action. Send all called population of a city to other empire's cities. They will be equally distributed among other cities. Each called missionary will still grant economic bonuses and vision over their new home. However, this will provide additional populations to other empires. So, okay. It's not clear to me what they mean by each called missionary will still grant economical bonuses. Will grant vision over their new home, obviously. That they provide sight to you, but surely they don't give you the resources that they make when they're out there occupying slots in someone else's city, right?
Maybe. Like I read that first clause as it's still giving you economical bonuses.
Well, but
I
like, what
don't
is the meaning of
know.
economical bonuses?
Can you
Right,
hover over called population?
Yeah, we know what called population. When we
But
Holioculum, they turn into called. The tooltip in the other thing described what called are. Mechanically, I mean.
Yeah, but wasn't that plus approval
-1 science.
-1 science? So they start giving you that,
But that's not
and the vision.
that's not economical bonuses. That's their normal yield.
Well, I don't know then.
That's
I'm trying to parse it out with you, but
like
I
that's
don't.
exactly what the word bonus does not mean, right? The normal amount of a thing.
Okay. I don't know.
I don't know either. I will have to do it. We'll have to play with it. +5 production per Holioculum level. So maybe it's describing this.
Okay.
Each called missionary will give us the esoteric delegation value. Religious unrest on empire cities and camps for 10 turns. But also blind fanaticism. A temporary status applied on a city when the service of spirit action is used or when the esoteric delegation action is used. As long as the city suffers from a blind fanaticism status, the risk of a riot arising will increase each turn. Okay. So we need to maybe have the military around. Because a riot is a spawn of troops in this game's mechanical language. A spawn of troops unaligned with me.
Which is why you'd want to send them somewhere else.
Send what?
No,
sending them somewhere else is what makes that happen.
Oh, okay.
How are you reading this?
I am trying. It's a lot of information, and
I mean, it seems to be quite a complicated faction.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see a lot of this stuff in play. I kind of want to.
Why not?
I'm gonna go ahead and do Star's Light right now.
Okay.
So I don't. Maybe I target the observatory after it's charged. I guess. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that. Let's play with this stuff. We'll see what it looks like. Yeah, it's quite complicated. I think this is very unusual.
Yeah, I got a little mixed up with it. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
I always feel a little nervous trying to figure things out loud because, like, what if I see something that's wrong and dumb? The commenters will let me know.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't.
You might let me know.
I'm sorry. I feel shitty now. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that.
Oh no, don't feel shit. No, don't feel shitty. I just, part of being a student is asking questions and making mistakes, and I think you're quite an excellent teacher.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. Okay, so looking for more opportunities to grab curiosities, but I think we've done very well off of this so far already. I mean, we do see something like really far to the north. So he's gone ahead and put down a thing in Siquion. One thing that I do really like about the tidefall system that's just occurring to me now is that it means that like border plays like this don't maintain meaning over the course of the game. Right? We took a vertical band of territory to prevent him from settling around us. But at first tidefall, this will be land.
Yeah.
And he will have the ability to still like we're going to continue having to like the meaning of the word border changes dramatically with each monsoon. It's
a really smart system.
It's very fucking cool, and it's something that would be like really tedious to do in or not necessarily tedious. There's ways you could do it, but it would be much less feasible in a board game or a physical tactical.
Oh sure, yeah.
It's like really taking good advantage of the video game-ness of the video game.
Yeah.
Right, well,
I did a board game once about dinosaurs running trains. Indeed. Where I had the inland sea, the western interior sea, a seaway, becoming land. But that's a very gradual thing, and it was, it did revolve a lot of components, and so yeah, I do think something like this, where it's just happening very, very naturally, and like creating these like really wonderful organic shifting geographies, which is something I don't really think we've seen in this space at all, because even a game like Civ that has such a huge time scale.
Yeah.
It's not the scale of geology.
Yeah, well, it gets to be the scale of pseudo-geology a little bit once they start introducing climate change mechanics. We didn't get to see this too much in Civ 6, and Civ 7 kind of ends before it has time to wind up. But, obviously the changing shape of coastlines and stuff can certainly matter in Civ. There have been a couple of games that play with this more. There was a game that came out, I want to say maybe like 5 years ago. I'm going to tab out real quick and see if I can figure this out. I want to say it was called Driftlands or something like that. Apologies. Driftland, The Magic Revival. If you're watching this on the day that it came out, Driftland, The Magic Revival, currently 85% off on Steam, $3. But part of the deal is that it's a strategy game that takes place on a bunch of floating islands, like up in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And you have magic as a resource, and one of the things you can do with your magic is nudge the islands. Like you can draw islands toward each other or move them further away. And so you run out of building land, and then you're kind of like, you're spending resources to sort of like coax land toward you so that you can build, so you can rope it in and build bridges across to it and like form it into a solid part of your land mass that does some interesting things. April 18th, 2019 is when this came out. I remember thinking on release that it looked kind of neat, but I did not ever really get around to playing it. Yeah, but not totally unexplored in the space. Just not a thing you see a lot of. In part because so many people in this space are so into the idea of making a thing that has a historical basis, which is You know, that's the thing you can do. It's the thing you're allowed
It
to
has
do.
problems.
Legally, you can do it, and I can't stop you.
Yeah.
But I do think there are better ideas. Impressive, your guard post. In such times, I believe we can trust you to look out for Sayata. Consider us friends, and we will keep the peace. Thanks.
Well, you know, a big thing is that
And they have given us one of their raiders, which we currently don't have room for in our army. But actually, you know what? One of the units in this army is a crummy scout. So I'll probably separate this out and include the raider.
okay.
Let me just put you in position ahead of us. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, but we're talking about the urge to do the historical games, and I would have so much less problems with it if because you have these historical games and you have the set of mechanisms which make for bad history a lot of the time, and if you're gonna do the history stuff, take the modeling seriously. If you're not going to try to address the fundamental problems that these mechanisms impose on the modeling, then don't do history.
A high-strung bow. Yeah, you say bad history. I would like to maybe... Whoa. What is this now? A wandering spirit, a juggernaut hero. Oh, right, juggernaut's just one of the types of heroes. With these are the horrors that are connected to the. What is your deal? Sorry, I distracted. You say bad history, like all history is, let's say, ideologically charged.
Oh, sure.
And so where I might challenge the wording of bad history and say instead dishonest history, history that is pretending not to be ideologically charged.
Yeah, I mean it's a thoughtlessness is the thing.
Or again, a pretending to be thoughtlessness, which is you are
sure.
somewhat eager to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think there's a little more insidiousness to the project personally.
Oh, I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving me, someone who makes historical board games, the benefit of the doubt. It's a little different.
Okay.
But like, I also acknowledge that there are a lot of problems within that approach, within that form, and part of the work is grappling with that.
Sure.
And grappling with the ideology, with your own biases, and with the kind of narratives that have been socially accepted that you gotta be careful not to parrot. And like, it's tremendously difficult work, and luckily the rewards for doing it well is marginalization and being real niche. But I made enough money to buy us pizza last night. That's the rewards of doing it well.
Okay, so this is definitely an upgrade over the bow we have, though. Oh yeah, 32 damage range 3, 45 damage range 4.
Yeah, no, that's real good.
Upgrade. And then a throwable shield potion versus a throwable healing potion. Feels like a shield potion.
If I was to do like a 4X board game, which certainly has been on my mind during the last year and a half, absolutely it's going to be fantasy or science fiction.
Yeah, I think that's. So I'm looking at this, and I'm finding this thing to be menacing and kind of fascinating. Like, what are you? You're just like a dust ghost. It does look a little scary.
Yeah, you should fight it.
That's what I'm thinking too. Counter-attacking instincts. When taking damage, ignores the defense of targeted units, deals 20 damage to adjacent enemy units, 2 extra damage per hero level, and it's level 2. When a battle round starts, it recovers 30 health with an additional 5 extra health per hero level. It's actually really scary.
Yeah.
And with 400 HP, like my heroes have 160. Yeah, so I do kind of want to fight it, but I don't know that we have the
Well, you have 2 armies, don't you?
no,
Oh, you have an army and then a scout.
yeah. I'm so glad that you're here and you're paying attention. We can try to pull the other scout back and try to go 7v5. And maybe that'll be good enough. Like the two extra units that we have obviously are just initiates. They're not great, but they are extra damage. Yeah, I'm a little worried about this thing. I am scared of it. But I want to, like, it seems like it must be very cool. It has big glowy wings on its
Yeah.
thing, and that's something.
What the heck is that about?
I want to that's something, so I want to fight it. Let's I also don't know how aggressive it's going to be, and I don't want to leave myself in a position where it like runs over and rocks me. I guess I'm going to wait here behind the scout. The scout can retreat if it has to. This is providing us a little bit of a buffer zone against aggression. Okay, it's just kind of moving neutrally. Let's grab this and then head as quickly as we can in this direction. It's going to be a little awkward because we're trying to approach it from 2 sides simultaneously.
Yeah.
And this turn we should have just enough influence to buy the other tile that we were going to use for communal habitations. So when we build that out, we should be in pretty good shape overall. We're gonna finish a laboratory that's gonna come into existence as a level 2 here because it has 4 districts around it. And then when we build this, it'll level this up, and yeah, it's gonna be good. I like the way the buildings look on this zoomed out view.
Yeah.
That art style is really nice.
The zoomed out look reminds me more of like a board game map, and so for me that's very pleasing.
Oh, is the monsoon ending? I wonder if that thing's gonna vanish. The turn before we were going to attack it.
Well, that's the reward of your cowardice.
I guess so. This occurs, you know? This happens. Sometimes you cannot afford to be the one who finds things out. And sometimes your cowardice stops you from doing so even when you could afford it. Oh, you still exist. Alright, tidefall has occurred. Oh. Maybe you became a vestige. Is that not an it's a regular terrain. I thought it was going to be a curiosity without even looking to see whether it was one, just because because it sure looked like one. It glowed familiarly. Well, alright. Hold on now. The ruins must have sat on the seabed for eons, the tangled fronds of weeds that would have once floated in the waters, now ugly clumps at the base of the pillars. Barnacles still cling to surfaces where the patina... Is that word patina or patina? Where do you put the...
Patina, I believe.
Okay, it's one of those things where I've only ever read it.
Yeah.
The patina of green slime relents, and the smell of the sea is intense. A soldier spots movement. Who goes there? Is this familiar? I should ask you the same question. After all, your soldiers trample a site of great historical value. Only the sage's ruins hold value to the Tauks. and these are not theirs. I am Curator Burji Meng, leader of the Taoks. Tell me, why do you dig among the bones of dead civilizations? Oh, the Solosk are far from dead. Like many of us whose histories go far back, they are simply diminished, not extinct. So, what have you learned? Jarosite. My name is Jarosite. My elders claimed the Solosk's empire once stretched across Sayada, magnificent in its cruelty. I could hardly imagine those lowly thieves building anything more than hovels, but this site tells a different story. What? Help me excavate. Prove you are not simply invaders, and I will tell you what I know of Sayada's past, and enrich you in the process to boot. Okay. I'm into it. Let's assist him. My soldiers will help. Now tell me about Sayada. Wonderful. Did you know that Sayada was once endless deserts? Only the hardiest creatures could survive. Amatrine myths speak of a great being coming to the world at this time. The legends are unclear as to this being's nature, whether it was born, whether it came from the stars, whether it was even mortal. Undoubtedly the work of the sages. It is my belief these myths contain much truth, and that is what I intend to learn. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have work to do. Okay. That's a familiar encounter.
Yeah.
And you guys, I guess, are headed south? Somebody's got to go and experiment to the south. Managed to finish our common rights just in time to not need it anymore. I do think we need to pursue a couple of science upgrades here. So the deciphering stone will unlock evolutions of observatories. See, now we're reading a +4 science. I guess part of the problem we were having before was it was monsoon season, and so the observatories were producing food instead of science. Now that our observatories are back online, our science is better. Let's take deciphering stone here first. So just a little bit of flat science from observatories and also the ability to evolve them, which I am curious about. Let's see, we have a couple of different ways that they can be improved via the application of some strategic resources. And then we also need to get some strategic resources coming in. There is a Hyperium deposit over here that'll be reachable, one presumes, with the next tidefall. We're going to have to make some friends with some of these minor factions real quick. Oh, that's a cliff face there? Well, that's inconvenient. Oh. A fortress that seems to be invisible or is not rendering for whatever reason. Okay, the scout headed down. I would like to grab this territory if we can. Umdor is like, it's still not actually like good, but if we do end up inviting the Auklings into our protectorate, which we will, then it just gives us 2 more villages of a thing we're already encouraged to be friends with. Okay, we are going to explore to the north. See what has unlocked up here. Also, this region does not currently have an observatory. So we'll spend a turn setting up an observatory while we're here. I mean, not really a turn. It's just that, like, if you're out of movement already, the only cost is the dust, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we can't quite buy our way out of the communal habitations, but we will be able to this turn. Try to get the parlay done before they attack us, because we're going to have to retreat when they do. Talk, we must talk. You must understand us, Ocklings, if you want to get along. That everything is fine, happy, as long as we have dust. Everybody loves dust, not just us. So talk. Though we find it useful, Ockling, we do not love dust. Of course you do. Dust is power and joy and happiness for everybody. Makes the heart beat and the eyes see and the ears hear. But especially for Ocklings, it is part of us in our veins, and if it runs low, we have a dust calling. Go a little crazy. Or, okay, very crazy. And you are now running low. We prefer calm, reasonable neighbors, but it sounds like things here are getting difficult. Ah, smart Tahooks. Ocklings are worried. If we have a dust calling, blood spills, bad things happen. We must have dust. Get us dust, Tahooks. Of course, Tahooks is smart and busy and reliable, enough to build a trading post. It would show Ocklings there will always be dust. Near. No more fear of dust callings. Well, a new site for trade would be useful. So have at least one trading post. Seems like a thing we could possibly do. Okay. So we just got a notification that our trading post was evolved. Did we not?
Oh, this observatory has evolved.
Okay, they meant evolved from like not existing to existing, not
Okay.
because they use the word evolved also to refer to this in that tooltip. Okay, so this is charged up now and I can fire it.
Okay.
Okay, so we've added that to there, and then now one of the population here has become a called. There's a little minus science, but a little plus approval. Okay, I mean, like, this makes sense. It feels to me like we want to do this to every observatory, right? Each observatory could be paying out a significant amount of, like, plus 10 influence per turn at a time when we're making 26 total influence.
That's bananas.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit every observatory with this ability, and we're going to end up with a bunch of called, and then we're going to have good reason to do an esoteric delegation. We'll send out our called to other people's cities and, you know, spread our religion and have them send the money they make back home is like the idea of the economic bonuses and stuff, right?
Yeah.
An interesting way of modeling a thing that I don't think I've ever seen modeled in a 4X game before.
Yeah.
But this is what happens when you remember that history is made up of people. Sounds like a crazy thing to say, but like...
That's something I think that Amplitude's been pretty good about most of the time, from what you've shown me.
Alright, you kept your promise, Curator Meng, and I'll keep mine. Sage's blessings upon you, and our oculum. Glory to the sages, glory to Meng, the holy oculum is ready at last. We may have needed the assembly to approve the research, but now they must heed the curator's decision. The scriptures describe 3 paths to use the oculum: ether, matter, and vision. The assembly encourages the study of ether, permits the study of matter, and forbids the study of vision. While experimenting with the oculum puts the Tahooks on a path we haven't walked since the sages shared these lands. If we don't follow it now, we'll never achieve everything we're capable of. And we will honor them with learning. They will honor us with rewards and exaltation. Crowds gather to hear Meng's decree. What should be announced, Curator? Okay. Fiery orthodoxy, a balanced approach, or the promise of new enlightenment. I must choose what is right. So, if we're pious, it looks like Star's Light is the same. It does lower the cost of everything, it looks like. So this would be
Okay.
the amount of science that gets paid in. Ether, holy oculum actions are encouraged. Matter and knowledge are forbidden. Okay. Right now we're open, which does what we know what to do. And if we move to bold, it doubles the cost of everything except the esoteric delegation thing.
Which it also changes in some
And it
way.
also improves the resources that come back. I'm gonna leave it open until we've like actually played with all the actions a little bit more. It's like I still don't feel like I really understand some of these things that have a couple of different tooltips describing their abilities separated from one another, you know? You are headstrong, Meng. Do not be so blinded by the possibilities of the oculum that you neglect the science of our sages. Progress there draws us ever closer to their brilliance. Are we so limited, Kasana? I see many paths, only one of which is the holy oculum. So, okay, get to 15 researched technologies to lower the cost of celestial guidance. Okay. And that's our next faction quest thing. So, yep, no, I got you. I'm here. I'm with you. Have a trading post is one of our new goals. A trading post is not the merchant's house. A trading post is a different thing that we have to research, I think. Yeah, this market technology allows us to build this. So we didn't bother with any of this stuff last time because in my experience, we were doing just fine on Dust. And when you're doing just fine on Dust, the main value of this kind of stuff is the roads. But we didn't need roads because we had the coral path.
Right.
The treadmill, so to speak.
No, don't call it the treadmill.
This game, this stuff is going to be much more important.
I will not work under these conditions.
I apologize. All right, we're running up here to try to make friends with new folks. There's an Orchidea deposit. Is that the thing we have some of? No, this is Darkhorn. Okay, I picked up a science curiosity accidentally. Didn't even notice it was there.
Our darkest horn.
I don't speak with outsiders, especially if I don't know them. And with every second wasted on foolish talk, the scrolls decay even further. Well, the Talks may be outsiders now, but we would earn your trust. What are these scrolls? The Daughters of Bor keep our guard up for good reason. I am Chieftess, but also Memory Keeper. I hold our past and teach it. With the scrolls. That's where your history is kept. And you say they are decaying. Maybe we can help. The tribe must not know. Our triumphs, our sorrows, the dark days of our imprisonment, all we overcame. This cannot be forgotten. The past will not fade away while I still breathe. I've lived a long life, Tahux. I know the tides, the sound of peace, the smell of war. But I don't know why the scrolls rot. Looking backward hasn't helped me understand, so it is time to look forward. A job for Suraban's fine alchemists and philosophers. We will ask them to study widely in search of clues. Okay, so we pacify these people also by getting to 15 technologies. And they'll give us a fancy necklace. Wisdom Whispers. Okay. 20% more XP whenever you gain XP. Okay, yeah, it's weird that it pops. I guess it just pops that up if you want to see the story sequence again.
You know, I don't say this enough, but you do a really good job reading the text for these.
Thank you, sir.
You know, doing the little character voices.
Intonation more than anything.
You do a good job with that. Have you
Okay,
seen me
alright.
try to do it? I'm not great.
Okay, so we do still need more. We do still need more influence income in total. We're not going to be able to expand very quickly or effectively with as little as we have. So I guess let's work on a forum, and then we can build a communal habitation over here and try to get these leveled up a little.
Okay.
But yeah, both of our laboratories, you can see, are level 2. They have advanced. And then we can build laboratories here and here and here and here and here, and skip the benefit from the anomalies and stuff. I think we're in an alright spot. I'm a little worried about how many turns of movement our army is getting away from most of our stuff, but we'll, one problem at a time. Found the Scion's Charm and a Bloodmark Bow. You guys are about to be able to head south. I think I want to go out the west edge of the city. Okay, that's still charging. So we've unlocked both of the other actions here. So Service of Spirit. The called populations are striped from their worldly possessions. That's just early access tooltip in right there. Are stripped of their worldly possessions and sent to live in the shanties, a district used to house destitute populations, spontaneously created after a few turns when a city contains destitutes. Shanties offer limited economic production and can damage the city's approval. Shanties are automatically removed when enough slots are created in the categories to house your populations. Okay. They will produce more, but in exchange, a blind fanaticism status will be applied on the target city. Right, and that, although this does not give you the mouse over, which it absolutely should, we know what that is from the other tooltip. Mm-hmm. So transformed all called population as destitutes and applies the galvanized called to them. So they gain industry and influence and dust output. And then Eternal Sunshine. Using the Holy Oculum to make sure one city is always bathed in sunlight, the populations are always productive. This will also reveal that city to other empires. As a drawback, this will spawn called population in the target city when the Eternal Sunshine status ends. So it lasts for 15 turns, and at the end of that time you get 3 called. And during that time, all your population vocations are producing double resources. You're getting 15 dust on tile with glass, and you're getting 50 fortification per Holy Oculum level. So, is that tiles with glass that are within the city borders? Like if you glass a region and then attach it to the city? That seems like a tremendous amount of dust, right?
Yeah. It does open a rift, probably.
But it does open a rift, probably. So you have to be able to deal with because a rift is what's going to where the Doom Wraiths come from.
Yeah.
So you're doing a position where you're ready to deal with a rift.
Take on a Doom Wraith. You've done.
I am absolutely not in a position to take on a Doom Wraith. Why are you trying to get me hurt? Why is this your thing?
I know what you're into.
Amabel Holland.
Yeah.
When gathering a curiosity, 40 dusts. Yeah, you know what? Sure. More dust. Really, really good at gathering curiosities. And then you... Heavy Rain. When using this active skill, knocks one tile back targeted units in a greater cleave area. Applies slowed 1, and you can use your remaining movement points afterward. What a weird ability. So if you can still use movement points afterward, does that mean you can also attack afterward? I guess if we're going to figure it out, we'll have to take it. Oh, I did want to actually look at you real quick. So we got this new bow, but I wasn't able to see the stats on it. What is there's a comparison button.
Well, this is plus 40 range 4. The other one is plus 45 range 4.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out. I thought there was a comparison mouse over, but I don't. None of the modifiers are bringing it up. Okay, so determination, intuition, breaching attack, which applies vulnerable 1 to targeted units, and also applies vulnerable 1 to all adjacent enemies when defending. That's kind of cool. And this is 45 damage and 3 determination. They're very similar. May as well equip that because there's no reason to just have it floating. Okay. So we're researching trading posts. We're building stuff as fast as we reasonably can. We definitely need to start adding things to our cities, like actually like firming up this territory. One thing I am noticing, and this was true last game too, but I thought it was maybe anomalous. It's actually very hard to find glass, steel, and titanium. Like we see far more resource deposits of the second tier strategics than we do glass, steel, and titanium. That is challenging, especially since there's so many like early to mid game buildings that require glass, steel to build them. I'm not really sure what to do about that. Our Empire project is ready. So let's go ahead and transform you. And then immediately start Stars Light again. Zoistine. Zoistatine. I believe you have something to bring before the council. I do. As our empire grows, so does our thirst for dust. I believe it would be prudent to secure new dust reserves by any means necessary. Well, more reserves are always welcome. What exactly are you suggesting? The seas are disappearing. Every tidefall, new lands are revealed. We must send dust prospecting missions into virgin territory before others snap up the riches. This is an intriguing proposition. And a dangerous one, too. And you are against these reconnaissance operations, Kyanite. Reconnaissance, no. Seizing, yes. Knowing each of our adversaries' strategic resources would be valuable information, but we risk antagonizing powerful empires if we begin extraction operations in their backyards. We need the dust. Not at any price. Okay. I mean, we do need dust.
It turns out that guy has just 3 Ocklings in a suit.
This is a weird spelling of negotiate. I'm going to pick this one regardless of the, what it represents or whatever, because we have no sources of titanium right now. So any points of titanium at all would be super valuable. All right, we'll hold off on any prospecting missions in exchange for other resources. That way we keep diplomatic relations civil. Not as sweet as dust, but still a boon. Yeah, that was like a weird high level strategy abstraction. Strange meeting, strange little story event to suddenly occur.
Baby, you're as sweet as dust. And a boon.
Yeah, I seem to be about as good for a computer as well, if it seems, if the state of my hardware is any indication.
Be nice.
Listen, there's only so many times my computer can be haunted. Even after trading out some or all of the components, before I have to start concluding I might be the problem. Look at all this growth. We really are like pumping up the population of the city is getting crazy. Anyway, we're here because we have nothing in the build queue. So this communal habitation, yeah, having built just a couple of these even really makes a big difference. Let's go ahead and put down a lab here where we said we were going to. We have like basically infinite room in that city for growth. And then I realize what time it is. And maybe we actually just stop right there.
All right.
We haven't changed the borders of our settlement much. We haven't even firmed up any of this internal stuff. But we're trying. You know, we're improving our watchtowers. We're building a forum and whatnot. We're going to get some influence. We're going to expand. It seems like the other the aspects are not in any big hurry on this either. It is interesting, like the way that the expansion cost model works here really does change the way you have to think about expanding, and this is something that they had started to play with in Humankind to some degree, but I think it's a little bit more refined here. I'm actually appreciating the way that it's like slows down and draws out the land rush process.
Yeah.
I think it's much more interesting for it to take longer for the borders to form up and for like the size and shape of the nations to like ossify, I guess. But then, you know, that also plays into the tidefall, constantly drawing back the edges of the playable world, and yeah, just a lot of really good ideas going on at the core here. But like I said, I think that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, I'm hoping to fill in some of these lines, paint a little bit of the map orange, and I don't know, maybe actually like make some more steps toward winning the game or whatever. Secondary concerns. And we'll see you then.